It's going to be a calming meditation tonight and also a connecting meditation. So we're going to do some breath work, helping us arrive in our own bodies with our own minds and to settle. And then we're going to expand out into a sense of connection with others. So that will be the format this evening. And yeah, very nice to see you all again. And thank you very much for joining, as always. And I just looked at my calendar, and this is the 16th week since we began. I think we began the day after lockdown. So the lockdown was the 23rd of March. And it's just become normal now, hasn't it? I think originally it was something special we were doing to try to, respond to the situation. And let me just spotlight my video. Good. Yeah, we were doing something special to try to respond to the situation. But as we all know, the situation is ongoing with the coronavirus and all the associated upheaval. It is upheaval, isn't it, of our lives in one way or another. And as I've been saying, all we can do really is deal with what's arriving in each moment, what's arriving in this day. Maybe we'll still be doing this in another 16 weeks and we'll still be in some kind of partial lockdown. Maybe not. Maybe we will have some miraculous change by then, although I have to say it seems unlikely that we'll have a vaccine or any amazing treatments in 16 weeks. But our intention is to be here, or my intention is to be here to support you. I really enjoy doing these practices on a Tuesday night with you all. So I get a lot from it. And, I see it as, we've called it space to breathe, because we want it to be a space you can come and settle and rest and give your mind a break, give your body a break, come back to center, come home to yourself. And we all the breathworks practices use breathing as the kind of foundation. Space to breathe. So as I said, what I was thinking, what would I like to do tonight? And to be honest with you, I very often think, well, what do I need tonight? In the knowledge that we're all so very, very alike. And I can be certain that what I need, at least some of you will also need. And I felt that what I needed, or what was calling for attention, was both calming and settling and resting, sort of coming to rest in my being, in myself, and then expanding that out to bring to mind others. Because we're now in these times, aren't we, where we are meeting others. Some of us, we're going out a little bit more. We're having interaction with others in real life as opposed to just internet interactions. And the more we can see others as like ourselves, the better it's going to go, generally speaking. When we see others as separate and different and strangers, as it were, then very often the communication isn't as good. But when we see others as deep down, living, breathing, feeling human beings just like ourselves, then there's more empathy, there's more kindness, there's more understanding, I guess, because these are hard times for many people. So we will be irritable and scratchy at times. They will be irritable and scratchy at times. And if we can understand that, because we know it in ourselves, to the extent that we know experience in ourselves, we know it in others, then we'll be kinder. And the things that we share as human beings is we're all breathing, and none of us likes to suffer, and we all long for fulfillment, peace, happiness. Those are the things that we share deep down. And most of our behaviors, functional and dysfunctional, are based on trying to avoid pain and trying to be happier. And some of our strategies are good, and some of our strategies are unsuccessful, shall we say. And that's what we're all doing. That's what we're all doing in our own ways. Okay, so I'm not going to say anything more so we can have longer for the meditation. And we'll probably sit till about 25 past and have a little bit of time at the end. As I was saying, choosing your position carefully, thinking how does your body want to be positioned for the next 20 minutes or so. You can do it sitting, standing, lying. If you get uncomfortable during the practice, then by all means, adjusting your posture, that's absolutely fine. But if we think at the beginning, what's my body calling for, and then giving that. I know I saw quite a few of you, you're tired, or maybe you've peeled yourself off the computer, or you've been working on the computer. So you might want to lie down. That's absolutely fine. So just adjust my position slightly. And what I'm looking for in my body is for my posture to be upright without being rigid, and to be alert and yet as relaxed as possible. That's the simple principles. And closing your eyes if you want to, if you find that comfortable. Or you can lower your gaze, it's completely up to you. And beginning to allow your awareness to drop down inside your body, to come to rest in the points of contact between your body and the surface it's resting upon, whether you're lying or whether you're sitting or whether you're standing. If you're sitting, this will be the bottom on the chair, the feet on the floor. If you're lying, it will be the back of your body. If you're standing, it will be the soles of the feet. So feeling into those points of contact, however they're showing up for you. Maybe the sensations are intense, or maybe it's dull. Let's take some deeper breaths in, and then on the out breath, allowing our weight to sink down through those points of contact. Doing that a few times. Big breath in. Letting go on the out breath. And as we drop into those points of contact, we're giving the body up to gravity, and we're allowing the body to be supported. Very often we hold on to the body with strain, with tension, and we don't need to. We can surrender the body up to the support of the chair, the floor, the bed, and rest. Allowing your breathing to settle. Finding its own rhythm, its own pace. See if you can let the body be breathed by the natural breath. No need to interfere with breathing, just allowing it to flow into the body, flow out of the body. And allowing your awareness to pour down into the legs and the feet and the toes. So the lower limbs are drenched in awareness. Stable, grounded. Probably some part of the legs and the feet are in touch with the floor, the earth. Again, surrender through those points of contact. I sometimes like to imagine that awareness is like water, and my body is becoming saturated like a sponge in water. soaking up the awareness. So the legs are now drenched in awareness. If they're unpleasant in any way, unpleasant sensations, see if you can meet that with a kindly attitude. Maybe you notice there's an impulse to contract against the pain or the discomfort. See if you can let the legs rest. Let the painful sensations arise and pass moment by moment, rather than being solid, static, stuck. And maybe there's pleasant sensation somewhere in the legs. Or maybe they're just dull. We're not looking for any particular experience. We're simply waking up to what's present in the legs. And the hips. These interesting joints where the legs join the torso. Again, seeing if we can allow the legs to fall away from the hips to rest in gravity. Now let's allow awareness to pour up into the whole torso. Feeling breathing in the belly, expanding on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. The chest, the ribs and the lungs. Expanding, filling on the in-breath, subsiding, emptying on the out-breath. And now the back of the torso. Is breathing showing up in the lower back in any way? Maybe there's a very subtle broadening on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. Or maybe the shape is changing a little bit on the in-breath and the out-breath. Middle back and the upper back. The back of the ribs, back of the lungs, shoulder blades, spine. This whole area being massaged by breathing. Opening on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. And now broadening to be aware of the whole torso. Seeing if we can get a sense of the volume of the whole torso opening in all directions on the in-breath and subsiding in all directions on the out-breath. Effortless. 360-degree breathing. Again, if there's any discomfort anywhere in the whole torso, allow it to be massaged and soothed by the breathing. Seeing if we can soften any impulse to contract against discomfort and breathing with it. in and out. And now allowing our awareness to pour down through the shoulders, down the arms to the tips of the fingers. So the arms, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, fingers, thumbs all become drenched in awareness. Seeing if we can let the hands be supported so the shoulders can fall away from the torso. So we're not gripping onto the arms or the shoulders with effort. Giving the arms up to gravity and letting them rest there. And now allowing our awareness to flow back through the arms, shoulders, and up into the neck and the head and the face. If we're sitting, checking the angle of the head's poised on the top of the spine, it's not tipping forwards or backwards, side to side. So we're not holding onto the head with muscles, we're letting it rest there. If we're lying down, seeing if we can give the weight of the head up to the cushion or the pillow. There's openness in the base of the skull, and yet softness in the throat at the front. Letting the face be soft, the eyes, cheeks, lips, tongue, jaw. Letting the wind of the breath blow freely through the back of the mouth. Blowing in the body, blowing into the body on the in-breath, out of the body on the out-breath. Broadening awareness to be aware of the whole body being breathed. Maybe having a sense of the whole body opening a little bit on the in-breath in all directions, subsiding a little bit in the out-breath in all directions. We're not doing anything. We're letting breathing express itself in the body, and our awareness is resting inside this movement, these sensations, these feelings. And let's let it be a kindly breath. Through each in-breath, each out-breath is soothing any hard edges in the body, the mind, the heart. Just as the whole body is saturated with awareness, let's now see if we can let it be saturated with an attitude of kindliness towards all of our experience. meeting our experience the way we would naturally respond to a loved one, somebody we cared about. Seeing if we can turn that attitude back into our own mind, our own heart, our own body. If you don't feel anything, that's absolutely fine. We can rest in the knowledge that even an intention of kindliness will have an effect. Knowing that it's possible will have an effect. Now staying centered and grounded, let's open our awareness to include everybody here in this session. It's 49 of us from many different countries, many different lives, and yet here we all are resting in breathing together. We're so very, very alike deep down. None of us likes to suffer, and we all long for peace, fulfillment, happiness. So as we breathe together in our imagination, let's see if we can connect with our commonality. So rather than seeing all these strangers and little boxes on the screen at the end of the meditation when we've got our eyes open, what would it be like to see fellow human beings just like oneself? It's painful, difficult sides of life that we tend to contract against. And a longing to be free of that, to be happy, fulfilled. So perhaps we can breathe in with an awareness of all of us, and on the out-breath, breathing out an attitude of connection, of kindliness towards all of us. And now the people around you in your home situation. Maybe it's people in the household, maybe it's people in the neighborhood, if you live on your own. Imaginatively breathing with them for a few moments, breathing in awareness of their humanity, breathing out kindliness while wishing towards them. There's no need to force or strain. It's more like a gentle breeze of well-wishing on the out-breath. And now bringing the weight of the body to the foreground of awareness again, feeling into the points of contact between your body and the surface you're sitting or lying or standing upon. Feeling grounded, steady, stable, breathing. Maintaining awareness of all these other people in the breadth of awareness, but bringing a sense of our own body, mind, heart to the foreground of awareness. Feeling breathing in the whole body. The soft, soothing, kindly breath. As we begin to bring the practice to a close, perhaps forming an intention to take this with you into whatever's coming next, the sense of being grounded, full of awareness, living with gravity, and a kindly breath towards yourself, towards others. Every time you notice you're contracting, you're bound, which will happen, in the noticing, we can choose release. Releasing the out-breath, releasing into gravity, releasing into this kindly breath in the whole body. That is the practice. That is the training. So in your own time, when you're ready, you can begin to bring a bit of movement into the body. And as always, noticing any temptation to immediately grip the body. Seeing if we can keep the body soft as we begin to move. So we're kind of experimenting with taking this quality of awareness into movement. We can open our eyes. Stretch. Good. Look at that, it's 29 minutes past 7. Thank you all very much for joining me. So let's, in the chat box, let's just ask ourselves how soft and kind we feel from 0 to 10, and put a plus if you feel more soft and more kind than at the beginning. And then we can just get a bit of a sense of your experience. So 0 would be not soft and kind at all, and 10 would be very soft and kind. And then if you're more so, you just put a little plus. And it's starting to pour in, which is fantastic. Lots of pluses so far, which is wonderful. It's lovely to see, isn't it? All these human beings, all this experience. And I saw there's one person who is obviously not still very soft and kind at the end. So it's very important then that you are soft and kind towards the fact that you're not feeling soft and kind, if that makes sense. That is also the practice. When we notice that, oh, I'm still feeling tight or whatever it is, then we just, whatever's arising, we bring this attitude, whatever it is, even if we're feeling very tense, very agitated, then breathe, soft, kind. That is the practice. So it's nice seeing what everyone said, and I find it very helpful and moving, but the point of the practice is it's a training. The point of the practice isn't to get a particular result. The point of the practice is to learn the training of, oh yes, I'm feeling tight. Release, soften. And to bring kindliness, this embodied kindliness towards difficulty when it arises, is the practice, as well as towards ease when it arises, which is also wonderful, of course. Lovely. Okay, so fantastic. It's now 31 minutes past, and as always, I always say I like to stick to time. I'm going to be away the next couple of weeks through that door. Oh, you can't see. Yeah, that door there. In the room that Sona's in, I'm going to be doing a little retreat in our garage for 2 weeks, which is pretty exciting. So Sona's going to lead the meditation the next 2 weeks, and he'll do a really brilliant job. I know that. He's been meditating for 50 years or something. So he'll be here for the next 2 weeks, and then I'll be back for after that. But I'll be thinking of you all. But yeah, I just need to, the time has come for me to go into the garage, into our annex, and have a little personal retreat. And then someone's saying thanks also to Ollie. Yes, of course. Thank you very much, Ollie. It's wonderful having you here in the background, making sure everything runs smoothly. Okay, so you could unmute yourselves now if you like and say goodbye to one another. And then after a few minutes, Ollie will end the meeting. Thanks, everybody. And thank you so much for coming. It's wonderful to practice with you. The garage retreat. Enjoy the garage retreat. I will. I can promise you I will.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.